Unraveling the mystery, the critical search for clues in the disappearance case.
If you were you have to check out all routes, you have to check out all cameras. Even if we thought that the kidnapper went to the right, I'm going to go to the houses to the left because, again, Nancy, he cased the joint. He looked at all the homes. He looked at where he could park and hide and then go to her house and be unseen the entire time. No neighbor, again, has produced the vehicle. We have him. He's been caught on camera more than once at the front door, but not from a neighbor.
Take a look now at Circa 79 Salon. It has just been renovated. I'm going to show you now the before shot. Before it was renovated, it was called Chantilly Tea Room, and it was transitioned into Circa 79. To Dave Mack, Crime Stories investigative report.
All right, again, so now we're back into this small town where they are and looking at the things that we should be looking at. This is what we should have been looking at from day one. DNA probably over the doormat. Too bad it was never collected for evidence, right? They listen, guys, they only have the same evidence that they've claimed to have since day one. They literally have mixed DNA, including a hair sample that was found inside the home that wasn't connected to the family. All right. DNA is described as the bulk of their case right now, as well as digital evidence and videos. That's all. And multiple emails where they were demanding Bitcoin, which could be completely off base. It could have been 3 different people doing that. Who knows, right? We know one of them was in the inner circle earlier of Tommaso and the band, and he sent that. He's going to be prosecuted for that. Is that a nothing burger, or is he connected to them? I mean, I don't even know what they're doing with that. It's like, hey, we arrested all these people. We detained all these people. We got all these emergency search warrants and stop. Okay.
Order. As we're taking a look at the Circa 79 Salon, formerly Chantilly Tea Room, the fact that it was renovated is important. I'm going to get to that. You heard Cheryl McCollum say, why did Annie think this is the route? You know what? Why ask why? Again, she thinks it's the route based on what she knows. So I'm running with it. And I'm not just looking for the perp. I'm looking for his vehicle. And not just the day of the kidnapping, other days like January 11. So why do we believe, if we know, why did Annie choose this route as the likely route the killer took?
Nancy, we don't know specifically why, but this was Annie Guthrie in the first days of the investigation, and she's trying to help. Her mom is missing. You know, she's in a panic mode of helping. She's not getting any feedback, leading her to believe that she's getting the results she's after, which is, where's my mom? So she actually volunteers. Here's where, because, you know, she lives in the area. Annie Guthrie and Tommaso don't live that far from Nancy Guthrie's home. And so she knows all of the routes. She knows the roads that people go and drive on. And that's why she put it out there. And I agree with you. More than just a Joe Blow citizen, you know, calling this in. This is the daughter of the victim, and she's putting this out there as a possibility. Now, this is a very specific getaway route, and it's easy to follow right there on the map. So when you get down to the nitty gritty, Nancy, this was Annie trying to help.
Okay, bottom line, there's a lot of words to say we don't know, but thank you anyway. Let's take a look at Chantilly Tea Room. That is what Circa 79 was before it was remodeled. It's a big structure, over 3,000 feet. But what's interesting to me, it was remodeled by retail specialists with Cushman Wakefield. Why do I care?
Yeah,
because if it was remodeled recently, Cheryl McCollum, that tells me they've got surveillance cameras.
Possibly.
I'm like, why do we care? The reason I do care about that place is because that's where they would go when Savannah would come into town. Mine is the same way, except there's a high setting, low setting. I don't know what y'all talking about, your green screens and getting set up. Surprised Nana, he doesn't do any live updates because they're trying to get him out, get away to where, right? So, oh my goodness, Mo Franjo, so much clickbait, and that's why I'm trying to keep it at least on track. If I could only stream about Nancy once a week or twice a week, at least I can keep it on track on my channel documented, because I mean, it has gotten way out of control. All right. Just a ton of clickbait and AI, and people don't even know it. I know. Me too, my friend. Me too.
What concerns me with any remodel is the cameras are going to be, taken apart. They're going to be rewired. So for a period of time, they won't have any. And it's probably the last thing they're going to put back together. So again, I'm not asking why for, the reason that you're thinking. I'm asking why for the investigation. If this pans out and we know the direction they're going, then we know where they're probably taking her. Now we know where better to search. Again, Nancy, I have not seen a legitimate search.
There's gotta be something, and she's right. She has not seen a legitimate search. And we would know because we've got Dolly out that was out there. We got all these people. Go hit your live button, and there's the Juice out there and all kinds of people out there just watching that house or in the desert searching or what have you. Yeah, a lot of AI channels are being shut down, thankfully. But yeah, Silver, I'm glad that you said this because about, I think, an episode or two ago, we talked about this hair sample, and they are getting 10 times better with hair samples and not needing it to be closer to the root. So that's what we can look forward to as DNA, as the DNA gets better and better, the technology. 2 episodes ago, a lady said we're doing it without the root. So I'm hoping that when we get the results back or we hear something, it's going to be connected to somebody that they've already had their eyes on. Yeah, definitely. What about taking the route on Google Maps on the night of? Yeah, I mean, why? I don't know.
Meaning, let's get some volunteers out there. Let's go shoulder to shoulder. Let's pan out. Let's get some horses and ATVs. We haven't seen it. We haven't seen a call for a search from Savannah Guthrie. She could have gotten 5,000 volunteers out there. It hasn't happened.
That's
so either
true.
law enforcement doesn't think this has anything to do with an escape route, or they're ignoring vital evidence. But I'll tell you, I wish we had the 911 call. I wish we had the first thing they said. I think that would help us determine, who did they suspect first? What did they say first? I think that would help us.
Joe Scott Morgan, jump in.
Yeah, so if we look at these 2 points, Green Toes and the Circa 79 Salon, as it's entitled on the map, guess what you have to do there, Nancy? You have to slow down because this intersects with a major thoroughfare. The critical point is that if there is a stoplight, if there is at those 2 points alone, a stoplight, a stop sign, the individual driving this route, driving that vehicle will have at least had to do a pause. Some people refer to it as a California roll, right? Where you come in, you don't completely stop, and then you go ahead and go. It's not like this vehicle at those 2 spots would blast past it, past these.
Now, remember when Maddie was being looked for, Maddie Soto, and we had that big stretch that went all the way from St. Cloud or from where they were to St. Cloud, and they kept saying 152 or 192, one of those. Anyway, that was where they found all of the footage was every freaking stoplight. They found they saw Stefan, and then they saw on the camera Maddie. Essentially, video solved that, right? Immediately, Maddie was no longer alive, and law enforcement saw the video and picked up on that. All right, so that's what I'm saying. Search by whom, other than the people that are searching? EquiSearch has asked you, but why aren't they not? 20 minutes from, yeah, I know there's a ton of people doing like psychic readings and saying that all kinds of stuff, but I want them to bring her home, and I want them to do a physical search. I can't understand why they're not. And what is this map of? Why this route?
Locations. We go back to Coburger. We think about that 20-mile circle or whatever it was where they're catching these glimpses. That ain't happening here. That individual would have to slow that vehicle down to the point where you can actually capture something. And if there are any more of these kind of intersections along the way, those are going to be critical points, all right, of where the individual would have had to slow down enough where you can actually get a capture off of these cameras. I think that those are going to be very important points. I'm glad that you pointed these out because, look, I mean, you got nothing else to go on. If you look at the elementary school, yeah, it makes kind of a dogleg turn there, but did that stop there, or they just kind of rolling past it? These other places, you've got intersections with a major thoroughfare. They're going to have to slow at least. They're just thinking about their own preservation. They don't want to get T-boned as they're pulling out there. It's just human nature. They're going to have to slow down. That could be a critical point or critical points right there.
And amazingly tonight, Dave Mack has done his own investigation into the route.
Yeah, I'm trying to. This is what we're doing right now. So we're talking about the route, and did I sit there and map it out? No, I'm not. I'm not your map time person. Now you guys love map time with Grizzly, but this is not. This is not that. I can't even find a. I'm assuming the start point is from the house, and the end point is what at the Bashaw's is where it stopped. Why did it stop there? So if we go from Nancy Guthrie's house to the Bashaw's, why that route? Yeah, I can map it out, but that's what I want to see what they're talking about. I want to see what they're saying about this.